What's going on? I'll be Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Domain Zoo, we're still playing with some Wrenn and Six. Deck is going to be in the description below. So we got Wrenn and Six and Teferi in this version of the deck. Let's see. So if I'm a little hyped up, because I just had my pre-workout, I'm going to get ready to go to the gym after this game. We're going to keep this. And I also just realized that I had coffee about a couple hours ago. No wonder I feel so amped up. Don't do that. Folks, don't take pre-workout and coffee in a short period of time. Like, no jokes aside. It was done by mistake. Alright, so what do we want to do here? We want to grab a Steam Vent into Temple Garden. That's the play. So we're going to go Ragavan into Kavu. Now obviously these plays can change depending on what the opponent does and depending on what we draw. But I like to always analyze my hand and try to plan my moves at least a couple turns ahead. This helps you, especially in playing a 5-color deck, it helps you determine what lands you're going to fetch out. Eventually, over time, you kind of fetch out the same lands, the same patterns. But I still make mistakes every once in a while where I fetch out the wrong land. So the Rishat Import, Merfolk, dude. We meet again. Alright, so do we want to trade with that? That thing could get a little annoying, especially when they have a Aether Vial in play. Okay, do we? You know what? I think we're okay with trading with that. At the end of the day, the way we win this matchup, assuming this is just straight up Merfolk, is by controlling the board and getting in. And I believe our deck has a lot more staying power than theirs. So I don't mind trading one for one there, because we do have Wrenn and Six and Teferi. They can get us ahead. These Merfolk decks, when they don't have Aether Vial, I mean, the deck is good, don't get me wrong. It's gotten a lot of boost over the years. But I don't know, ever since... Ooh, do we get rid of that dude? Yeah, without Aether Vial, the deck seems, I don't know, clunky. How many mana is this now? 3? Yeah. We'll just do this now. These decks sometimes play Spreading Seas, and this combined with Spreading Seas, plus, you know, it could just be a pain to deal with. Gonna get rid of the forest here. So right now the strategy, the game plan is smash them with the Kavu. Try to get rid of anything they put on the board, because Merfolk, the way they beat us is by having multiple lords, island walk. So we have to get in fast, aggressive, and we have to keep the board clean. They have 3 cards in hand and an Aether Vial that they just played. Are they going to have a play this turn? Okay, good. Okay, Ragavan. That's a good one. We're going to cast a Ragavan here. What can we draw? We may want to draw... Well, we need to cast red. We can draw Bolt or Leyline Binding. I guess it doesn't really matter which land we tap, because if we get in, we have the token or the treasure. We are going to get rid of the Brawler here. I would like to draw some removal. Then we draw the Bolt. Alright. Do we want that guy? Do we want... So right now I think the play is... Brawler. Opponent's at 10. We could just kill them next turn if they don't play anything relevant this turn. Last turn they had 2 blue if they didn't play anything. We know they can cast this dude. We can go Ragavan, these 2 Bolt. And if we draw a fetch, we can Domains, Scion, give this guy Trample. They do have... They could the Violin, the Rishadan dude, and then they can activate Mutavolt if they play a Lord here. We have to unfortunately use the Bolt for that. I'm just trying to figure out if we can, what can they draw and play that will prevent us from winning next turn. Okay, so they're gonna activate the Mutavolt now. They're gonna attack. We will take the 2. They could have a Lord. I don't know what they could have, but maybe they're just sending a message. Alright, so we'll get this. And then we'll like Bolt whatever they play or whatever they cheat in with this. If need to be. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Ragavan here. Right now I'm looking for burn spells. Like I mentioned earlier, the way we beat Merfolk is we, just like most creature matchups, we want to control the board, but because they can get big really fast. You see? And then they can do that, and you know, these things. Alright. So they have a lot of 1-drops. An opponent just gives up. He's seen enough. He saw the Kavu. He saw... I mean, I would have given up too. Well, that was a short run there. But let's go over the matchup real quick. And the deck. Alright, so still playing the same deck. 3 Wrenn and Six, 2 Teferis. Stubborn Denials are in the sideboard. The Teferis take the place of the remands. We still play the 1 Dromoka's Command because it's really good. The lands, we still have our normal 12 fetch lands with the addition of the 22nd land, which is the Misty Rainforest. The deck, because we added the Planeswalkers, is going to allow us to play a better mid-range to long-range game. It also gives us another win condition with Wrenn and Six, with your Lightning Bolts and your Tribal Flames. And you can also abuse your Dromoka's commands with Wrenn and Six. This is, you know, playing Wrenn and Six makes you wonder whether you want to play Lightning Helix as well. I mean, I can see an argument for maybe adding a 4th Wrenn and Six, removing a Teferi, and then removing this Teferi and this Dromoka for 2 Lightning Helixes. I think, you know, I think that's a little too repetitive of what we're trying to do. I like the spread of having different angles of attack because there's so many different decks in Modern, and each card helps you in different matchups. You know, Teferi against the Cascade decks, and, you know, counterspell decks, and also get to Temple. You can bounce something and then play a creature or get in. Problematic permanents you can also bounce, like Blood Moon if this is already in play. I believe, right? So enchantments as well. Yeah. So it's just a good card, and it generates card advantage. Wrenn and Six, I really like it in this deck because, again, like I mentioned, We already have the Triomes, which can be cycled. Because we're able to put lands back in our hands with our fetch lands, we're less likely to have to always go for our Triomes. We're also not going to be so susceptible to things like Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruins or Spreading Seas, because we're going to have a continued flow of mana. We can also leave these in the deck, so when we draw them, we can cycle them to draw a card, put them back in our hand, and have a better late game, which is something that Zoo normally struggles with, which are late games. Sideboard, pretty straightforward. Still have the Rest in Peace to Consumes All for your graveyard, and Consume All for those, artifact decks and decks that are just playing a bunch of cheap permanents. Stubborn Denial, great counterspell in the sideboard. It's still a card that I feel that this deck should be playing, because why not? It's just hits everything that you need. An additional Dromoka's Command, your artifact and enchantment hate here, and then of course Jegantha, because why not? It's a free card. So there's the deck, my friend. If you have any questions, comment at the bottom. Let me know. I'm about to go to the gym. I'm starting to feel the little itchies from the pre-workout, so we got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like my video. Any questions or concerns or any tips, comment at the bottom. Peace out.